Oh, I know this is stupid. I know it. I know it's stupid, but it looks so cool. Come on, you can take the weight. Come on. Stay. I'm sweating bullets here. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Cunningham State Park, a division of Catoctin State Park. It is freezing out here. In the sun, it's not so bad, but we're also at the top of a lake where there's quite a bit of wind blowing up at us, and I imagine that will persist as we reach our final destination. So we're gonna be freezing our keisters off pretty much all day.
That's okay.
That's what we do for you. The last time we came to you, we were coming from Kilgore Falls at Rock State Park. It was the second tallest vertical waterfall in the state of Maryland. Today, we're gonna show you the tallest in the state of Maryland. It's more gradual. It's a cascading fall rather than a straight vertical drop fall that falls in a sheet like Kilgore. So it seems, it actually will probably be harder to capture on film.
It is
because
much
of how
bigger
tall
than
it is.
Kilgore, but it's not as flowy.
Yeah. It's another one of our favorite places to visit, though. We definitely love coming out here. And today is a very special day because in addition to visiting one of our favorite places during the off season when there's not as many people, hopefully, crossing our fingers, we're also testing out
Our baby.
a new toy! When parking at the Falls Trailhead, you have the option of pursuing either the Cliff Trail, which is a little bit more rocky, more difficult. It's about a mile as opposed to the Campground Trail, which is 2/3 mile. The Lower Falls Trail will take you to the base of the falls. It's about half mile one way, 1 mile round trip, according to the sign. Both areas do close at sunset, so it really just depends on whether you want to be more adventurous or whether you have small children, perhaps dogs.
Or someone in a wheelchair. I think the Lower Falls Trail is technically wheelchair.
We also saw someone drive a bunch of RC like mini cars out on that on that
kind of
simpler
like
trail. So you have some options here. We're more adventurous, so we prefer the Cliff Trail. The Cliff Trail is about 1.1 miles all the way around if you follow it from the base all the way to the loop up to the top of the falls and then back down. The elevation gain is about 255, so not too bad, not too much different than the hike we took last week into Kilgore. The Cliff Trail, of course, is definitely not wheelchair accessible, and it's a lot tougher on the smaller kids. Dogs will probably manage it okay. I would definitely recommend the Lower Falls Trail, which is a lot smoother if you're not an experienced hiker or prone to get short of breath. This is about our 4th or 5th time out here, but they've been separated by many years and many seasons.
The Lower Falls Trail is more like a nature walk than a hike.
Yeah. There's still a lot of interesting things to see on both trails.
Yeah, but I like to, these days, maybe not always.
Oh, the sun's out!
I like to feel like I'm doing something. Maybe get a little elevated heart rate or some muscle soreness saying,
Oh, my heart rate's definitely up.
I did something today.
And this is modern art symbolizing deforestation.
I don't think it's deforestation. I think it's...
No, this is modern art. They had an Imagineer come out here and help them with the theming of this area. How you doing, Spider-Man?
Now would be a good time to have sticky hands.
Why were you doing this again?
I wanted to get to the top, but I might not be able to.
Aww.
I got here, though.
Once again, to all residents of Maryland or visitors from out of state, bring a mask with you when you're going hiking, even if you're not going to wind up needing it for most of the time. You are required to have one on you, and you are required to social distance as much as you can when you encounter other hikers on the trail. When you're not passing directly by other people, or when you can effectively social distance, you do not need to wear a mask. But always good to have one. Oh, here comes the wind! Buckle up, buckaroo! When we start heading back, we'll take the lower trail so that you guys know what that one looks like. It's pretty well paved throughout, so much less difficult. Much less difficult. Wow. It's actually a lot easier to see the falls without all the trees in the way.
Oh, the people!
we've now reached the point where safety has become subjective. Cunningham Falls State Park is very clear on swimming being prohibited. Do not swim, it's not allowed. Climbing on the rocks is technically allowed. It is discouraged. But it being technically allowed and discouraged, two very different things. I have yet to be here on a day when someone is not climbing on these rocks trying to get to the top of the falls. And it's pretty safe to do, but that having been said, it's discouraged for a reason. So, if you're not sure-footed, if you've never been here before, and you're not here with someone who has been here before and kind of knows the route around the rocks like we do, don't do it. You'll probably regret it. But it's easy enough to reach the top of the falls if you have sure footing and you know where to put your... these footholds change, of course, and it can be unsafe depending on how you're trying to reach the top. But we've done this enough. We feel comfortable doing it. Just bear in mind that park management does discourage it for a reason, and that you do need to be careful as you're going up. And now for the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to take this bad boy out for a spin. As promised, we're taking the easy road back to the parking lot. This is the lower trail, which is much more accessible to people who are less adept, or young children, or dogs, or little racing cars that are remote controlled. Compare what you're seeing now to what we were hiking earlier. You can definitely see the difference. Much easier for people of varying skill sets.
Less rocks and roots and lower elevation.
And definitely nice for us at this point because we are super cold and not necessarily feeling the full 1.1 mile.
Well, also just trying to get back to the car quicker where there is heat.
Indeed, I can see your breath.
I am cold.
Never been so glad to be back in the car. Even though it was a super fun time out at Cunningham Falls, I do not regret coming out, but my hands are like this. The new camera, which is, by the way, a Canon Powershot G7X Mark II, performed very, very well. Exceeded our expectations, I think. We'll have to take a look at the footage and the pictures when we get back home and actually roll through and see how all of that footage looks once it's brought into an editor, but I think it's going to be our new go-to. Didn't use the manual one bit.
It was nice to see something that's not on a screen this big.
Yes.
Because that's what the Osmo is. But
The Osmo, we've been using the DJI Osmo Pocket 2 since we started vlogging, and it's been very reliable up to a point. There are things that it can and can't do because it's microscopic. I mean, what you're seeing right now is a full-fledged video, but what we're recording it on is hold on. It's literally the size of my thumb. So it's been difficult sometimes to operate this particular piece of machinery. Oh, we should mention one thing. This is a state park, and therefore it is subject to entrance fees. When we pulled in, there was no one at the entrance booth, and previously when we've been to state parks, we've had to pay by credit card because they're not accepting cash due to the COVID crisis. I guess it's just like less hand-to-hand contact or transmissibility if you use a card. So I brought a card and no cash, thinking that I would need to use my card to get into the park. There was no one at the gate, and there was a box that said, use the honor system, deposit this much cash. And we're like, ugh. Anyone from the state of Maryland watching this, we promise we will pay double the next time we come. Yeah. But if you're coming as a park goer, as someone who wants to see the falls, bear in mind that right now, off season, there may or may not be someone in that toll booth. Make sure to bring at least a little bit of
$2
cash.
bills.
Yeah, I think it was like
it was $3 to
$3 minimum donation per person. I think is what is expected.
Or I can't remember if it was per car or per person. But anyway,
yeah, just a little,
like $3 to $6.
Just a little bit of cash to put in the box. Makes you feel better when you go home. We feel like we're stealing park.
It is important to us to maintain the parks and to pay the people that take care of the parks. So
yeah, and this experience wouldn't have been possible without the state parks and all of the people patrolling them. So make sure, like Katie said, to bring just a couple of bucks just in case no one's there, because they will be operating on the honor system if that booth is empty, and we feel bad for flouting it. But again, we will bring money next time. So all of that having been said, great day. We are off. It is time to go home, have some hot cocoa, watch some Netflix, get warm, chill. Remember everyone, every day is a new
adventure!